Social media has become one of the biggest tools used to influence people, specifically teenagers. In the age gap between 12 and 18, it's often used as a platform to bully and spark acts of violence. Just last month, North Las Vegas police told parents that it was important to monitor their kids, especially what they're posting on social media. Since then, police say many acts of violence may have been the result of an argument beginning on a social platform. Retired Police Lieutenant Randy Sutton says parents have to know what their children are doing online, even if it makes teens unhappy.
Parents have a responsibility. Their responsibility is to monitor their children. Now, is that an easy thing to do with a teenager? Probably not. But you know what? There's the parent and there's the child.
Welcome to Male Reality Lessons, where topics are reviewed and discussed as iron sharpens iron. Greetings. On today, we want to discuss the very serious responsibility of parenting. Obviously, if you are in a one-parent household, it is even more an arduous task. But even in a two-parent household, once the kids become of age, particularly in their preteen and teen years, in today's new world, the electronic device creates more problems than good. Let's take a look at how serious the problem really is and how you, as a responsible parent, not your child's buddy, can attack and be more successful with your parenting.
Is your child too young for a cell phone? CBS 2's Nick Calloway reports that means some big decisions for parents.
This year, cell phones are what kids want, whether their parents like it or not.
Is a phone on anybody's shopping list this year?
Mine! It's on their list, but they are dreaming.
Even for kids as young as 6. Claire is 7 years old. She thinks she's ready.
It's an important part of life, and my dad always has a phone with him.
Right.
Claire wouldn't be the first elementary schooler to have an iPhone. In fact, around half of kids have smartphones by the age of 11. The dilemma parents are running into is how to stay connected with their kids without getting them hooked on tech too soon.
If you are looking to buy a phone for your child this year, it doesn't necessarily have to be a smartphone. There are plenty of kid-friendly options on the market.
Options like a GPS tracker with walkie-talkie features or this watch with two-way and text. And don't forget those basic talk and text flip phones.
Unfortunately, it's a little bit of a losing battle. Eventually, they're going to wear you down and probably make you get a smartphone. But these are interim solutions.
But some say, what's the rush? A nationwide campaign called Wait Until 8th is asking parents to pledge to wait until at least 8th grade to give their kids a smartphone.
I mean, I work at a school and I see it with middle school boys, and they can't even concentrate in class because they're thinking about what's on their phone in their pockets.
Dr. Harris Straightner is Associate Professor of Psychiatry at Mount Sinai. He worries about the effects smartphones are having on our kids.
Attention deficit disorder and hyperactivity, cell phones just feed it because they give a person an ability to constantly be distracted.
I don't want my kid to be the only kid without a cell phone.
Peer pressure aside, it's ultimately up to the parents to decide how young is too young. On the Upper East Side, Nick Calloway, CBS.
Chad is giving parents insight into all that time their teenagers spend on the app, rolling out a new tool called Family Center. Parents and teens between 13 and 18 have to opt in. Then parents can see who the teen has communicated with, but not what they're saying or posting.
What we're really trying to do with Family Center is to offer parents insight into their teens' online behavior, to foster conversations, to develop trust between parents and their teens.
How likely do you think it is that most teens will be willing to opt in?
Even the question of joining Family Center will be an opportunity for a parent and a teen to talk about Snapchat, online safety, and what it means to connect with people online.
Snapchat has existed for a decade and says it's been developing these new tools for more than a year. The company hopes Family Center will help parents with many safety issues, including one we've reported on extensively, drug dealers using social media to sell pills that often contain deadly fentanyl.
this is a great start. I mean, our main goal is that this doesn't happen to any other family.
Michelle and Zeke Mather lost their 18-year-old son Max in March 2021, just before he would have graduated from high school.
Max was just a wonderful, kind, beautiful boy.
He had a lot of friends.
Authorities say Max bought a pill through a dealer he communicated with on Snapchat.
Do you think you would have used a tool like this if it had existed when Max was?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You wish they'd done it sooner.
I do. Yeah, I do. Especially when Max was younger. We would have probably been more involved. But with Snapchat, there just wasn't a whole lot you could do.
I can't help but think that this is all too late for you.
Yeah,
It is.
It is.
It is. It is.
However, if it could help one other family, that's our concern right now.
If you're enjoying the video, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to Male Reality Lessons.
Morning Original 13 Action News reporter Alicia Patillo is live to show you which apps experts say parents need to keep an eye on. Alicia?
Nowadays, everyone is on social media, and experts say parents need to know these top 5 apps. Here they go: Facebook, GroupMe, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. You need to know these top 5 to keep your kids safe.
And there's a certain social pressure to, be impressive via the internet that didn't used to exist.
Social media has become one of the biggest tools used to influence people, specifically teenagers. And the age gap between 12 and 18, it's often used as a platform to bully and spark acts of violence. Just last month, North Las Vegas police told parents that it was important to monitor their kids, especially what they're posting on social media. Since then, police say many acts of violence may have been the result of an argument beginning on a social platform. Retired Police Lieutenant Randy Sutton says parents have to know what their children are doing online, even if it makes teens unhappy.
Parents have a responsibility. Their responsibility is to monitor their children. Now, is that an easy thing to do with a teenager? Probably not. But you know what? There's the parent and there's the child. And sometimes you can't be friends all the time.
Okay, parents, you want to make sure that you also are monitoring your kids' backup page. Sometimes they create fake pages to do what they really want to do without you knowing. So make sure you're paying attention to those backup pages and ask a lot of questions. Dana and Marissa?
Yeah, Alicia, that's really good advice because you may, look at that first layer and think, okay, things are good, but something could be hiding. So, Alicia, thank you.
In closing, I know some traditional ways of parenting need to evolve, but it also holds true that some traditional ways of parenting need to be a standard. That being critical in the rearing of children, and the most important aspect of that is discipline. Without discipline, and especially at a very young age, for both male and female children, it is paramount that you have that in place, because we are seeing some of the outcomes of that in today's society with the lack of parenting, the lack of 2-parent households, and overall the basically leaving the child up to their own discretion, allowing the world to raise them versus you as the responsible parent. If we do not put a stop to these things very early on, we get the results we have today. Unruly kids, disrespectful kids, kids committing crime, kids creating an environment that is so volatile that older people who normally would get respect garnered to them as being seniors in the community basically is non-existent. It is your responsibility as a parent to try to uphold some traditions, and allowing electronic devices to be in the hands of young, still developing minds is a critical and key responsibility of the parent. allowing your child to have that device is very dangerous if not given guidelines and under certain restrictions until they're more mature and responsible to handle it. But lastly, I want to hear from you. What is your outlook on, if you have children, how do you process whether or not when they should be allowed to have an electronic device? I think it should be at a responsible age, and the recommendation of NIH is a good starting point, but I'll leave it up to you as a parent. Lastly, I want to thank you for watching. Please subscribe to Male Reality Lessons, and as always, have a good day.